G'day scrappers. Today I'm going to be scrapping out some of these Cisco wireless access points, and these are very common, especially from schools, and I've been picking these up over the last couple of years, and they used to be okay to resell, but not so much anymore because Cisco have got a totally different new range of access points. So these heavy ones are kind of like superseded now. So I was getting them in a big wave at one stage, then they started to slow down where I'd only get like one or two in a pickup. But now they're starting to come again in larger batches because they're just clearing out the entire systems and they're replacing them with a more modern access point. So that's them there, and they basically, when I pick them up, they normally come with these 6 antennas. So normally what I've done is I've kept a few of these in my own collection, and and a whole bunch of spare antennas. And so what I'm doing today is I'm just scrapping out a whole bunch of these. I've got quite a few in the garage needing to be scrapped out, so I'm going to start off on these 6 here and get them out the way. I actually enjoy scrapping these out because they can be a little bit fiddly, but they've actually got really good circuit boards in there considering what they are. They've got some nice slot cards, so good gold recovery. So if you're ever picking up from schools or wherever and you see these you come across these, certainly grab them. And if you can't resell them, like here in Australia, they're really hard to resell, but I'd imagine maybe in countries like America you might still be able to resell these. But yeah, so I'll pull one aside and start scrapping it out, and we'll just have a look what's inside, and yeah, have a bit of fun scrapping out Cisco access point. Well, here we go. One access point. Just remove this back plate. And yeah, as I said, I really enjoy scrapping these out. I won't take these out yet. Yeah, they're just, they're very straightforward as far as scrapping them out. There's not a whole lot to them, but inside there's some, really good boards, and you certainly, for gold recovery, they're certainly good. And also there's not a lot of wastage in these units because a lot of it is all extruded aluminium, maybe some cast aluminium. So usually first thing I do is take out the side boards. So it's just a little levers here. Okay. And so in here we're going to have nice slot card for each of these modules. So that's it's going to be our best value will probably come in there, but we've got a main board in here. And so here we've got our first bit of aluminium. So it's mostly aluminium, and they're reasonably heavy, so a lot of the weight is in the aluminium itself, so they're really good. And we've got some riser cards or backplane boards in here. Yeah, just awesome little things. So whenever I get them, I'm pretty happy, I'd like to get as many as I can. And yeah, as I said, sometimes I only pick up 1 or 2, and sometimes I can get a whole batch and might get 10 or 15 in one school. And they also come from offices and stuff. So here's the 2 riser cards. As you can see, we've got some really nice gold plating or gold fingers, and they're good quality gold fingers here. So there's no real value in the board itself. There's no IC chips or anything like that, but just the gold fingers alone, it's a real bonus, straight up gold recovery. And it's just a matter of getting these plates off the main board. just steel. Here's our main board, and yeah, it's okay. As you can see, it's a very easy thing to scrap out. It does take a little bit more time if you're going to clean up the aluminium, clean the steel off the aluminium and stuff like that. But that's it. And so here we've got some extruded alloy that needs to be, you've got to take out these little clips, and these little stands are also steel. You've got to unscrew them, clean it up, and we've got some nice aluminium. And here's our main board. Just see if we're actually in camera, because I tend to be out of focus when I'm sitting down. So there you go, that's the main board here, and it's double-sided. So we've got IC chips under these aluminium plates, and it's not too bad. So let me just clean off these plates. Not a lot under these. So this is technically probably the back of the board. At one stage I was doing so many every week. As I said, it's slowed down, and it's only just started to pick up again with these access points, since now they're actually completely getting rid of them, and it's not just the ones that are being repaired and stuff like that. So, you know, not much, but a little bit more aluminium here. So that's the back of the board. And yeah, okay, you know, it's nothing spectacular as far as precious metal recovery here. A couple of tantalums, but we do have a lot of nice MLCCs running through it, if that's your thing. There's also another chip under there. And on this side, well, we've got some really good big MLCCs here. Tiny little yellow tantalum capacitors. But these are really nice MLCCs, if that's your thing. I've got a really nice BGA chip here, and also tiny ones underneath here, and some ICs. So yeah, it's not bad. You know, it's the kind of thing that I would just depopulate all the main things and then just throw this into mid-grade board. I would take this main BGA chip, because that's going to be nice, good value for gold recovery. Might take the little one, and as well as the nice MLCCs and tanties, and then just throw this in with mid-grade board. Okay. But overall, you'll find that, you know, they're pretty good value because of the extra aluminium that we get. Yeah, so now it was all Phillips head screws. Now we're going down. These are a little bit more harder because they're all got Torx screws, and there's a couple of difficult ones we need to get through into these ones here. Got to do them by hand. So let me just get my Torx screw prepared. Okay. So I've done the ones inside here by hand already, just to speed it up a little bit. But yeah, they're a very simple thing to scrap out. They got a lot of screws, so they take a bit of time, but the stuff that you get out of them is really good, you know, for gold recovery and that. So yeah, I love getting these things, and eventually they'll be you'll be able to pick them up really cheap, like on eBay. Once they're they're already being superseded, but once they're completely superseded, yeah, it might actually be worthwhile picking them up if you're into gold recovery. They certainly put them together pretty good. Okay, some more steel. Okay, so here's our really nice slot cards, and yeah, they're awesome. I'll just get this one out. Then I'll change the screwdriver back to Phillips. And so yeah, these two modules here are the ones that I'm really going for. But the riser cards having such good fingers as well, they're really, yeah, it's a real bonus. And as you can imagine, if you get a whole heap of them, you know, you're certainly building up on your gold finger, gold recoveries. Okay, so just need to switch over the screwdriver. Alrighty. Okay, there's our two boards. We've still got to take off the, this is a steel plate, but then underneath we've got, as you can see, this really nice set of, you know, extruded aluminium pieces. Also got to take out these, so once we remove this, it's also Torx screws as well as Phillips, so it's quite a lot of fiddly little screws if you want to get to the actual aluminium, but there is good value in aluminium. And so here we got the really nice little slot card, a really clean slot cards, really good fingers again for gold recovery. This is what I'm really after, not so much the actual board, because these are too light to sell as slot cards. You just wouldn't get your value because there's no steel bracket, there's no junk on there, so much better off. You get much better value if you take your gold fingers. And then we can have a look at what's underneath one of these. So I'll just remove all these plates. You can see a BGA chip. Give me a minute. Okay, so that's all the aluminium shieldings that I've removed. So, you know, it doesn't weigh much, but, you know, still it all adds up. And there we go, there's our main slot card board, and not a whole lot on them, just two BGA chips here, which are class 1 BGAs, so we want them too. And we also got a nice gold crystal oscillator there that we want to take off for gold recovery, and then it's just these nice gold fingers. And so, you know, we're going to have two of them, and yeah, really nice. And you know, add to that, not a great deal here, but still a good heavy board for a mid-grade board. We do have a really nice giant BGA chip here. It might be a copper top, but nonetheless, even with this heatsink, these are really good ones. Tiny little BGA chip underneath there, but still a good board. And also, we've got these two nice riser cards with really nice gold fingers. So in one of these Cisco access points, we've got 4 gold fingers, four really nice sets of gold fingers, and I can just tell they're not a shiny gold, they're not a very light gold. These are quite heavily, you know, heavy gold fingers, so they really add to your gold finger pile. Get some good gold recovery off them. And yeah, so really good there. On top of that, we're going to have quite a bit of really nice aluminium. It's a really nice big piece of extruded alloy. So yeah, I reckon they're the ants' pants. Really great little things to scrap, and you can see it's mostly clean scrap, so you're not really going to get your hands dirty. And yeah, just a good little fun thing to do on a nice quiet day. scrap these out, get your gold recovery. I think they're really worthwhile. Cisco access points, the old style, really good scrap. Alright guys, hope that was a bit of fun for you. Keep scrapping and keep an eye out for your Cisco access points, and I'll catch you next time.